Today I bring the another video regarding the Black Wall Tunnel topographical test. Common mistake when you draw to it, when why you getting fail because of these mistake, and we can lose the marks. And let's find out. So let's draw a route and highlights the mistake area where you do the mistakes. Oh, by mistake I put the spelling of the highlight is wrong, so please just ignore it. And okay, let's move on to the next part of the video. Is this from the starting point to the end point. When you just take the starting point to the end point, so starting point is the green usually, and end point is the red mark. So please focus always on the route, and if you do a small mistake, do not touch the sideline. If you touch the sideline, you can lose the marks. So Black Wall Tunnel mostly coming in exams, so you can see the sign of the Black Wall Tunnel, and there is another way you can recognize it is a tunnel or road. If you go to the A to Z book, so you can easily find out the sign of the road, dual carriageway, and this is on the first page, and the tunnel as well. So in the tunnel usually there is a gap between road and the small mark on it, so you can easily recognize the that is the tunnel. So let's go to the starting point now and start the route. I will not take your time maximum. I'm going to try my best to draw a route as soon as I can. So you here you can see you is a arrow sign. Arrow sign means there is a one way, so you need to follow the sign. So go straight away like this one, and then exactly this one here. You see this is the one way sign now, and we're gonna go through the exactly the same way and drawing the route. But let me check out the another way where I just done by the nice way, but some people done the mistakes when you're drawing the route. Like, see, they just take a left, and when they take a left in a straight route, and from here they just take a right. If you take a right on that way, is first of all is a long route, because you're just extending your route, and the second part there is a one small line it, and the small line it I cross it, the red cross, because that one is the closed road, so you cannot get access to the main road. If you get access to the main road, you're gonna get the 0 marks for this route, and you will lose the 20 marks. So just to bring in your notice, this is the small closed road, the small line inside the road. So if you see any kind of this line inside the road, please do not draw it the route cursor here, otherwise you're gonna lose the mark. So let me delete it now, and let me go from the exactly same place where I left the route. Okay, and I will highlight the other some area as well. And this is usually the 20 marks questions, because you will get the two big questions and two is the medium range one. So this is the long range one. So the long range one question is 20 marks once. If you get the one accurate 20 marks and two accurate 20 marks, then it's easy for you to pass the test. And please do not touch the exactly when you are just turning it, and the mostly people do doing the mistake, maybe by hurry, maybe the shortage of the time. So when you go like that way, touch the sideline, so you're losing the marks. So when you, for example, let me focus it on it, and let me draw the cursor here, is wrong because you touch the sideline. When you touch the sideline, you will lose the mark. So please focus on it, and do not touch the sideline. If you touch the sideline, you will lose the marks. And always do practice. So if you do practice, it will minimize your mistakes and maximize your strength. And always remember, whenever you go inside the tunnel, so the tunnel, like see here, tunnel is a one entry point and one is the exit point. When is the entry point is mentioned clearly and a book as well, because when you're getting entry and the tunnels, so that one I just revise it again how you draw the test. And the entry point is basically is a called is a tunnel approach, and do not forget about it. If you get to the tunnel approach, after the tunnel approach, then you cannot move left and right. And always remember, so the tunnel approach is the entry point of the tunnel, where you can see as well as the mark between the air, like when you see the road sign it, and there is a see, I just let me make it red for you. This is called tunnel approach, and tunnel approach is the entry point of any area, and when you're exiting from the same place, it will be showing here the tunnel approach as well. So when you reach to the tunnel approach, is that you don't need to be do turn left and right until you get to the tunnel approach again. So another thing you can see here, there's a small break on it. So when you go to the A to Z book, you can see the same, this is the break one A to Z book, and as mentioned is this, like, and look like this one is the tunnel sign. It's not like a dual carriageway or a single carriageway. So please remember this one as well. You can find out on the A to Z book on the first page. So now we can keep in the middle of the road because it's a one way, because you can see there's a two way, one is get in and one is get out, so it's easy for you if you want to keep in the middle of it, so it's no problem. But if there's a dual carriageway, the both side is the transfer going on, so on that time specifically you need to keep on the left. But in my point of view, I'm gonna say keep on the left. You will be your habit, because you know driving, you specifically draw like you know driving, just draw the routes. So the drawing the routes is make you see here now. If you turn right here and make your way to the final destination, so many people done the mistake is the wrong one. I'm gonna just curse on it. Always monitor it. You cannot do it like earlier I mentioned. When you reach tunnel approach, after the tunnel approach, you can just do the left and right. Before the tunnel approach, if you do the left and right is a wrong one, and you will lose the marks, and maybe they will consider your question or route as a 0% mark. So mostly if you do the blunder, not a small mistake, the small mistake maybe you lose some marks, but if you do the blunder like this one, you're going to lose the whole question. So always please monitor it. See, I just kind of highlighted again the tunnel approach. So is this the when we are entering was the tunnel approach, now is we are exacting is the same as the tunnel approach. So specifically just look at this area. So whenever you're drawing the Black Wall Tunnel is mostly coming an exam, and mostly every like out of 10, 9% people getting the Black Wall Tunnel. Here exactly you cannot take just right. If you take a right like this one is wrong, because you use under the bridge. How come you can just take a right? Because you need to come out first, then you cannot take a right, and you maybe you take the any time any area. If you are driving originally, you can see in the road you cannot turn right. If you want to turn right from the left, always is there's a maybe roundabout or the traffic light. Here as well you can see is the small one is that we coming out from the outside is a small roundabout, is mentioned RD at the both side. When you're getting in is a RD, when you're getting out from the tunnel is a RD. So always remember this one is a point exactly where the mostly people do the mistake. If you do the mistake like that way, you will lose the whole marks. So mostly remember this exactly the specific area, the roundabout, the small roundabout. Okay, now here you can see is the, because we need to go to the exact point. The exact point is the end point. When you go to the end point, always remember, just a little bit minimize the cursor. When you minimize the cursor, your focus point will become. So how you're gonna plan your rest of the route. If you go on top of the bridge specifically here or flyovers, then you cannot exit from the road. So you need to do the specifically exit from the road. The exit from the road is the barking road. So when you click on the barking road, so barking road is take us on the side corner. So when you take it the side corner, so it means that you exit from the main high road. Is under the bridge, so you can take a right. So under the bridge, we just take a right and end the journey route now. So this is the 20% question marks, and this one I have seen him nearly. I sent many peoples for the test, and they have taken a training from the many peoples, and out of 100 I say 90% people getting the Black Wall Tunnel. So route has been done. So always look for the mistake where I highlighted. So if you do not touch the sideline, always check if there is a small line in the middle of the road. Do not cross it, because it means that it's closed road. And when you going from the left to right, there's a mostly time is that traffic light or roundabout. So always consider these things. When you consider these things, it's easy for you to pass the test. So if you have any difficulty and specifically on the test, so you can keep in touch, and I will try my best. If you need some specific area where you getting difficulty, you can ask. I'm gonna post the video for you guys to just improve your skills. Okay, but if you need a zero test, you can visit for the zero test www.zeroonlinetest.co.uk, where you can do the mock test and you can improve your knowledge and skills, and it will help you to pass your test. So please remember, if you need a zero test, visit for the zero test www.zeroonlinetest.co.uk. There is a mock test available, 22 mock tests, so it will be very easy for you to pass the test. Thank you very much. Thanks for your watching. If you need any help, just please keep in touch.